Hello and welcome back to my channel, the place where you can improve your English, build your confidence, and make English a natural part of your everyday life. If you're learning English right now, I want you to think about one question. How much English do you actually use between your lessons? Maybe you study English for 1 hour a week. Maybe you watch a lesson on YouTube. And maybe you complete a few exercises in a textbook. But what happens after the lesson ends? Do you close your notebook and wait until your next English class? If the answer is yes, don't worry. You're not alone. Many English learners spend a lot of time studying English, but not enough time actually using it. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about today. Because becoming a confident English speaker isn't about finding one magical technique. It's about creating small opportunities to use English throughout your day. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country. You don't need to have an English-speaking friend sitting next to you all day. You don't need to memorize hundreds of words every week. And you certainly don't need to spend 5 hours studying grammar every evening. What you need is something much more realistic, a daily system. A simple system that helps you listen, think, read, speak, and communicate in English even when you're very busy. In today's episode, I'm going to give you 10 practical habits that you can build into your everyday life. Some of them will take a few minutes. Some of them won't feel like studying at all. And the best part is that you can choose the habits that fit your life. You don't have to do everything. Start with only one. Then add another. Because here is something important. You don't become fluent by doing something difficult once. You become fluent by doing something useful constantly. So let's get started. Let's start with the first few minutes of your day. Think about your morning routine. You wake up, you check your phone, you get out of bed, you get dressed, you have breakfast. Maybe you look at your messages, maybe you check the weather or scroll through social media. Now imagine turning just a small part of this routine into English practice. So instead of reaching for your phone and immediately switching to your native language, create an English first morning. When you wake up, give yourself a simple challenge. Think in English for the first 5 minutes of your day. Don't try to have complicated thoughts. Keep it simple. For example, okay, I'm awake. I need to get up. What's the weather like today? I have a busy day ahead. I need to leave home at 8. What should I do first? These are not difficult sentences, and that's exactly why they are useful. You're not sitting at a desk trying to translate a complicated paragraph. You're simply using English to describe your real life. You can also ask yourself one question every morning. What is one thing I want to accomplish today? Maybe your answer is, today I want to finish my work early. Or, today I want to call my friend. Or, today I want to spend 20 minutes learning English. Now you've already started thinking in English before your day has really begun. And here is the important thing. Don't worry about making perfect sentences. Our goal isn't to impress anyone. The goal here is to train your mind and your brain to reach for English naturally. The more often you do this, the easier it becomes. So, tomorrow morning, before you start your day, give yourself 5 minutes. No textbook, no grammar exercises, just you and English. Habit number 2, turn dead time into English time. Dead time. So, what is dead time? It is those little moments when you are doing nothing particularly important. Maybe you are waiting for an appointment. Probably you're standing in line, sitting on the bus, waiting for your food at a restaurant. Probably you're waiting for someone who said, I'll be there in 5 minutes, and 20 minutes later, you are still waiting. We've all been there. These moments may seem too short to matter, but they can become powerful learning opportunities. Instead of automatically reaching for your phone and scrolling without thinking, use those few minutes for English. You could listen to a short English clip. You could review 5 useful expressions. You could read a short paragraph. Or you could simply look around and describe what you see in English. Imagine you are sitting in a cafe. Look around you. You might think there is a woman sitting next to the window. Someone is ordering a coffee. That table is empty. The music is a little bit loud. It's getting crowded. You are turning your surroundings into an English lesson. And here is another challenge. When you're waiting someone somewhere, choose one object and describe it. Let's say you see a backpack. You could think it's a black backpack. It looks quite new. There is a small pocket on the front. Someone left it on the chair. You don't need advanced vocabulary. You're practicing the skill of thinking directly in English. And this is a skill that grows through repetition. So the next time you're waiting for something, don't think I'm wasting 5 minutes. Think, I've just found 5 minutes of English practice. Habit number 3, build a personal English phrase bank. Many learners collect individual words. They learn decision, improve, opportunity, experience. But knowing individual words isn't always enough. Fluent speakers don't communicate by building every sentence one word at a time. They use phrases and expressions. So, instead of collecting random vocabulary, start building your own personal phrase bank. And here is the key. Only collect phrases that you can imagine using in real life. For example, let me think about that. I'm not sure how I feel about it. That makes sense. I hadn't thought about it that way. I'll get back to you. That's a good point. These expressions are useful because they help you communicate naturally. Now, don't just write them down and forget about them. Give each phrase a home. Imagine a real situation where you might use it. For example, someone asks you, do you want to come with us tonight? You don't know yet. You can say, let me think about that. Someone gives you an opinion, you agree. You say, that's a good point. Someone explains something and now you understand. You say, that makes sense. This is how vocabulary becomes active. You don't just know the phrase, you know when to use the phrase. Try creating a small phrase bank on your phone. Every day, add 1 or 2 expressions. At the end of the week, choose 5 and use them in your own sentences. That is a much more powerful habit than simply memorizing a long list of vocabulary. Habit number 4. Have a 5-minute English conversation with yourself. Now, I know this might sound a little strange, but stay with me. One of the biggest problems English learners face is that they know what they want to say, but when it's time to speak, the words don't come quickly enough. The solution? Give yourself more opportunities to speak. And you don't always need another person. You can practice with yourself. Choose a simple topic and speak for 5 minutes. For example, what was the best part of the day? Or, what is something I want to change? Or, what would I do if I had a completely free weekend? Let's say your topic is, if I could travel anywhere next month, where would I go? You might say, if I could travel anywhere next month, I'd probably choose Japan. I've always been interested in the culture and the food. I think it would be exciting to explore Tokyo. But I'd also like to visit smaller towns because I want to experience a quieter side of the country. Notice something. You don't need a perfect speech. You are simply practicing how to keep your thoughts moving in English. And here is a useful rule. Don't stop every time you make a mistake. If you forget a word, explain it another way. If you make a grammar mistake, keep going. If you can't remember the exact word, describe what you mean. This is a very important communication skill because real conversations don't stop every time you forget one word. You learn to keep going. You find another way to express yourself, and that is exactly what you should practice. Habit number 5. Read something that you actually enjoy. Let's be honest, if you hate what you're reading, you're probably not going to read for long. So don't force yourself to read something just because you think it's good for your English. Choose something you're genuinely interested in. If you love travel, read travel articles. If you enjoy technology, read about new technologies. If you like stories, read short stories. And if you're interested in psychology, find beginner-friendly articles about psychology. The subject matters because interest creates attention, and attention helps you learn. But here is the challenge. Don't read just to finish the page. Read actively. When you find an interesting phrase, stop. Ask yourself, would I actually use this expression? Then try to create your own sentence. Imagine you read, I wasn't expecting things to turn out this way. Don't just move on, create your own example. I wasn't expecting the meeting to turn out this way. Or, I wasn't expecting my weekend to turn out this way. Now, you've taken language from someone else's sentence and made it yours. And that is what we call active learning. Habit number 6. Make English part of your digital life. Most of us spend a lot of time with technology. Our phones, laptops, social media, apps. So why not make your digital world work for your English? You can change the language of your phone if you are comfortable doing that. You can follow English-speaking creators who talk about topics you enjoy. You can subscribe to English channels, read comments in English, search for information that you are interested in. Let's say that you are interested in cooking. So instead of searching only in your native language, try searching easy dinner ideas or how to make homemade bread or quick breakfast recipes. Now you are learning English while searching for something you actually want. Interested in fitness? Search in English. Interested in photography and travel? You don't have to turn every activity into a formal lesson. You simply change the language of the information you consume, and slowly, English becomes part of your environment. Habit number 7. Use the 1 minute, one topic challenge. And here is a simple challenge you can do anywhere, anytime. Choose one topic. Set a timer for 1 minute and speak. That's it. 1 minute, one topic, no script, no preparation. You could talk about anything you want. And here are some ideas. A place you would love to visit. A skill you wish you had. A movie you recently watched. A person who inspires you. A difficult decision you once made. Something that always makes you laugh. A habit you want to develop. A meal you could eat every single day. The goal is not to give a perfect answer. The goal is to keep speaking. And once 1 minute becomes easy, increase it to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, then 5, 10. You might be surprised by how much you can say when you stop worrying about being perfect. And here is an interesting challenge. Record yourself once a week. Don't listen immediately. Wait a few weeks. Then compare your recordings. You may notice something amazing. You may speak faster. You may pause less. You may use more vocabulary. You may sound more confident. Progress is something difficult to notice day by day. But when you compare your old recordings with your new ones, you can actually hear the difference. Habit number 8. Give yourself an English only moment. Now, let's take this a little further. Choose one small part of your day and make it English only. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Maybe it's 20 minutes. During that time, you don't switch back to your native language. You listen in English. You think in English. You read in English. You speak in English. For example, you could make your evening walk your English only time. While you're walking, describe what you see. Think about your day. Plan tomorrow. Ask yourself questions. You could think, what went well today? What was difficult? What do I want to do differently tomorrow? What am I looking forward to? You're creating a small English environment inside your everyday life, and you can choose any activity: cooking, walking, cleaning, driving, or even having breakfast. The activity itself doesn't matter. What matters is creating a consistent moment when your brain knows now it's English time. Habit number 9. Learn from your own mistakes. Here's something I want every English learner to remember. Your mistakes are valuable. A mistake is not proof that you're bad at English. A mistake shows you exactly where you need more practice. So instead of feeling frustrated when you make a mistake, start collecting your common mistakes. Maybe you often forget the third person S. Maybe you confuse sense and for. Maybe you say I am agree instead of I agree. Probably you have trouble with the past tense, present tense. Write your mistakes down, then create a simple correction list. For example, I am agree becomes I agree. Then make it personal. I agree with you. I agree that this is important. I don't agree with that idea. Now you're not just correcting one mistake. You are practicing the correct structure in several real situations. And here is another powerful idea. Don't try to fix 10 mistakes at the same time. Choose only one mistake for the whole week. Pay attention to it. Practice it. Use the correct form. Then move to the next one. Small improvements add up. Habit number 10. Create your own English routine. Now we've reached the final habit, and this might be the most important one. Create a routine that you can actually maintain. Not the perfect routine, it is your routine. Maybe you have only 15 minutes a day. That is okay. You could do 5 minutes of listening, 5 minutes of speaking, 5 minutes of reading. Maybe you have 30 minutes a day. You could do 10 minutes of listening, 10 minutes of speaking, 5 minutes of reading, 5 minutes of writing. Or perhaps you have an hour. The exact amount of time isn't the most important thing. Consistency is. You don't need to follow someone else's routine. You need to build a routine that fits your life. Because the best English routine is not the one that looks impressive on paper. It is the one that you can still follow 3 months from now. So, let me give you a simple example. Imagine you have 30 minutes a day. Here is one way you could use them. 5 minutes, listen to English. Choose a podcast, video, or short audio. Another 5 minutes, repeat useful phrases. Choose a few expressions and say them out loud. 5 minutes, think and speak. Choose one topic and talk about it. 5 minutes, read. Choose something interesting and read actively. 5 minutes, write. Write 3 to 5 sentences about your day. 5 minutes, review. Look back at the new phrases or mistakes you noticed. That is only 30 minutes, and you don't even have to do it all at once. You could listen while you're getting ready. Speak while you're walking. Read during your break. Write before you go to sleep. The important thing is to create opportunities. And what if you don't have the 30 minutes? No problem. Try the 10-minute version. 2 minutes of listening, 2 minutes of speaking, 2 minutes of reading, 2 minutes of writing, 2 minutes of reviewing. 10 minutes, that is all. The secret isn't doing a lot once in a while. The secret is doing something constantly because 10 minutes every day is better than 1 hour once a month. Before we finish, I want to talk about one of the biggest mistakes I see English learners make. They wait. They wait until their grammar is perfect. They wait until they know enough vocabulary. They wait until they feel confident. They wait until they are ready to speak. But here is the truth. You don't become confident and then start speaking. You start speaking, and that is how you become confident. You don't wait until you know everything. You use what you know. You make mistakes. You learn. You try again. And slowly you improve. So, if you've been waiting for the perfect moment to start practicing English every day, let today be the moment. Don't promise yourself that you'll study for 3 hours tomorrow. Start small. Choose one habit. Maybe you'll listen to English for 10 minutes. Maybe you'll speak for only 1 minute. Maybe you'll write 3 sentences. Probably you'll read one page. And that is the thing. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you start. And now I have a small challenge for you. For the next 7 days, choose 3 habits from today's episode. And that is all. For example, listen to English for 10 minutes, speak English for 5 minutes, write 3 sentences before bed. Do this for 7 days. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about making mistakes. Just do focus on showing up every day. And after 7 days, ask yourself, do I feel more comfortable using English than I did a week before? Maybe the change will be small. Maybe you'll notice that you understand more. Maybe you can find words faster. Maybe you're less afraid to speak, or you are thinking in English more often. Those small changes matter because fluency isn't built in one dramatic moment. It is built quietly. One sentence, one conversation, one page, 1 minute, one day at a time. So remember, you don't need to move to another country to improve your English. You don't need to study all day. You don't need to know every word. And you don't need to speak perfectly. You simply need to create more moments where English is part of your life. Listen to it, read it, think about it, speak it, write it, use it, make mistakes with it, and then try again. Because the more you use English in your real life, the more natural it becomes. One day you'll notice something different. You'll understand a sentence without translating it. You'll answer a question without the need to search for every word. And you'll express an idea more quickly. And then you're gonna realize I am actually thinking in English. And that is progress. And that is what we're working towards. So don't wait for fluency to arrive. Start building it today. Turn your daily routines into opportunities. Turn your small moments into practice. And remember, small actions repeated constantly can create extraordinary results. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this episode helped you by any way, don't just listen and move on. Subscribe to the channel so we can grow together. Share it with a friend and comment done day 7. And if you're ready to keep improving, stay with me here. And step by step, we'll become more confident English speakers together. Until next time, keep listening, keep speaking, keep learning, and most importantly, keep going. See you in the next episode.